When you think of the Czech Republic, what comes to mind? Maybe its striking architecture, rich culture and history, or simply beer. But religion? Probably not.
Would you consider yourself religious, non-religious, just spiritual?
No religious.
I'm non-religious.
I define myself as like atheist.
Believe in something more, but not a religion.
In fact, 70% of the population either identifies as non-religious or atheist.
I think that like everyone, or at least me, like in Czech Republic, like believe in something, but it's not like really like some specific religion, to be honest.
It's clear, for most Czechs, faith isn't part of daily life. Yet, a small minority of the population, less than 10%, still identifies as Catholic. We are here to understand how they live their faith in one of Europe's most secular societies. We started here in Prague, at the Church of Our Lady Victorious, one of the city's most visited religious sites, to speak with the rector, Pavel Pola. How would you describe the Catholic community here in Prague?
Catholic community, that's it's small, I would say. It's not too traditional as, for example, in other countries where the Catholic Church is more strong or bigger.
I don't think that the ideal state is that 90% of the population are Christians or Catholics or like that. I think that it's interesting when the church is like the minority. It's more safe, according to me, because whenever church was too connected to power and had this majority, it wasn't good. It became formal. It became misused even like religion. And so I think this is more safe way.
After hearing Pavel Pola speak, we took to the streets to hear what members of the small community had to say.
What is your experience of being Catholic in a mostly non-religious/atheist society?
Might be a little more difficult, like especially at times when somebody is going through something like with their faith. So the environment probably isn't as understanding, but I mean, everything has its pros and cons. So
sometimes it's hard because you have to be different than others. So yeah, sometimes it's very challenging for me.
What is your experience of being Catholic in a mostly non-religious/atheist society?
Yeah, it was really tough during my childhood because you're different, and when you want to do things right, you might be quite unpopular in your class. And I also grew up in a small village, which is why I think it's even more obvious that you are different. And so I was kind of bullied because of my religion. I had to sit alone in the canteen. I couldn't go and sit nearby anyone else, and yeah.
And didn't that discourage you, like at some point, like, I don't know, during your teenage years or something?
It was hard, yeah.
Being part of a minority also presents challenges within the community, as Catholics here often struggle to feel like they belong to one. That leads many to rely more heavily on their personal relationship with God.
I think like the emphasis should be on that relationship with God and like how we bring light to the world.
What role does religion play in your life now?
Now? The highest role, I think. It gives me the most important answers to my life.
So what role do Czechs believe religion should play in the society?
I really do believe that like it should have some place here, and that people should at least like know some things from Christian history, because Christian is like really like rooted in Prague, I would say. So yeah.
I would say like in our daily lives, Like, that's what it should be important. Like, to those core principles of loving your fellow neighbor as yourself. No matter if I'm a believer or somebody is not a believer, I think those core principles are good for our society, and that's what we should focus on, I would say.